Hey, it's Kunta Kinte!
First of all, let me emphasize something that I strongly believe. I am convinced Eddie Long did not do it. Eddie Long is not homosexual. I am convinced that Eddie Long is being crucified just as Jesus was. It is quite interesting. In the scriptures itself, read John, I believe it's the 8th chapter. Jesus was accused of being born of fornication. It was the Pharisees, the religious people who claimed the name of God. They said to Jesus, "We be not born of fornication." Now, when you read into that, what they're saying is basically your mother lied. Your mother was a hoe. That's right. Jesus' mother, Mary, was called a whore. Because they said, "We be not born of fornication." In other words, they were saying to Jesus, "You are born of fornication. Your mother lied. She was sleeping around with other men other than Joseph." So Jesus was accused falsely. He was accused of being a liar. Hear me, a deceiver, a charlatan, a magician. They could accuse Jesus of all that. But number one, it didn't hinder Jesus' ministry. Number two, Jesus was not passive. He wrote a whole chapter in the scriptures, "Woe unto you Pharisees and Sadducees." So for some of you who think we're as Christians supposed to sit back and do nothing, you're wrong. Jesus went to the temple and turned over the tables of the money changers. Jesus was not a passive wimp. So I want to say this to many of you on YouTube. If you thought for a moment that all Christians do is go to church and pray and we forgive and we don't fight back, we're just passive people, you're wrong. Let me explain something to you. And for many of you who think that our job is to just pray and forgive and let things go, that's imbalance. That's when basically you have not done, or let me say it this way, basically when you've done all righteousness that you're supposed to do. In other words, let me give you an example. If somebody violates you, let's say if you're a woman and you get raped, are you going to say, "Well, I'm just going to ask God to forgive them. I'm not going to do nothing about it. I'm going to move on with my life and get over this"? No. You file a rape complaint. You go to the police department and you file for rape charges. Hear me. You go to court. You do due process according to the law. Watch this. Then if there's a retaliation against you, or if once you put it in the hands of the law, in the hands of God, then you step back. In other words, you do your part of doing what is right. Hear me. Let me say this to many of you. Okay? There is a spiritual battle going on here. This spiritual battle is manifesting in the natural. What's going on is something I believe, if you watch my videos on YouTube prophecies, I talked about it, how a strong attack is going to come against the church. Okay, what's happening and what's going on is this Antichrist spirit is assaulting the church strongly, making false accusations. And let me tell you something. It's quite ironic and interesting that Eddie Long was accused by these 4 boys, high profile. Creflo Dollar accused with money. Benny Hinn was accused with Paula White. Look at all these accusations. Has anybody gotten a flag and said, "Wait a minute, whoa, slow down"? Has anybody said, how could all of a sudden in a small span of time, in 3 years, all these major profile TV preachers are getting all these accusations against them, and not one of them, not one of all the accusations was prosecuted for a crime? Not one of them in all the accusations was it a crime. Nobody went to jail. No, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Everybody they're claiming all these preachers doing is evil, but why the legal system can't find nothing on them? Now, Al Capone, he went to prison and he died in prison, and Al Capone was incriminated, right? Watch this. And he was a mafia. Why can't they take these preachers down? They did it to Jimmy Swaggart, Jim Baker, they did it to... But why can't... I'm going to tell you why. Because these are all false accusations and allegations. And I'm saying from Benny Hinn all the way up to Eddie Long. Creflo was falsely accused of stealing money or what they're... Yeah, I mean, come on, people. Don't y'all see the deception that's going on? Look at how those who make the accusation, number one, they're not Christians. That's first of all. Okay, Antichrist, you're against Christ. You're against Christianity. You're against Christians. So what do? Okay, of course they're going to make accusations against that which they're against. Hear me. But what they're learning is that Christians are not punks. We're not wimps. We're fighters. We're warriors. Listen to me. Now, the Bible says in Ephesians 6, the weapons of all warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. Now, watch this. It didn't say we do not fight in the carnal. It said our weapons are not carnal. In other words, watch this. I can fight a carnal battle in the natural, but not use natural weapons like a gun. Y'all better hear me. A knife. Come on. Or a sword. That's what the Bible's talking about. But if I'm in the ring in the natural, I can use spiritual weapons to take you down. You hear what I'm saying? So in other words, the weapons of all warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty. They're powerful through God. Now, the weapons of wisdom, the weapons of spiritual discernment, the weapons of prophetic utterances, the weapons of our warfare, the weapon that the Holy Ghost gives us, they're not carnal. And so we're fighting in this battle, and the weapons that we're using is causing us to win. I'm going to say this to many of you, and I'm going to say it right now. We're on the winning side. We declared victory before we went into the battle, and we're in the heat of the battle. I was accused of being a homosexual by some little boy here on YouTube. And he's the same little boy accusing Eddie Long of being gay. He's the same little boy who's making all these accusations against preachers. But he himself, everybody else, no one is looking at him. Or let me say, his supporters ain't looking at him. Look. I'm questioning, is he gay? Because it's quite interesting. I'm very curious about somebody who accuses somebody else, always accusing people of something. And I'm wondering if they're projecting on them what they really are. Now, let me say this, okay? I believe and I am convinced 100% that Eddie Long is not guilty. Check out CROADWARRIOR's video on Eddie Long. I have it on my video link. And this brother really sums it up very well. He sums it up very well. Check his video out. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be confirmed. What is quite interesting, okay, when these 4 boys who came against Eddie Long, it is quite interesting that the only evidence the public has ever seen was one picture. This picture neither had the boys in it. There was nothing sexually suggestive, and all Eddie Long was doing was posing, showing his build. Number 3 is it was alleged that he sent this picture to those boys. That was never proven. Number 4, we found out later that that same picture was on the actual phone that they stole from his office. So now we know how they got the picture, which Bernie Bernstein, when she first came out, she did not address that, although it was questioned. Come on. So from the beginning of this case, it's been some really suspicious stuff going on. Now, here's another question. I'm going to show you the loopholes in the legal system. Remember O.J. Simpson? O.J. Simpson, America, just believe. There were many. I'm convinced O.J. Simpson killed his wife. He killed his wife. No doubt about it. Okay? Anybody who defends O.J. Simpson, they're defending O.J. Simpson because he's black, not whether the evidence showed that he killed his wife. Now, whether the police tamper with the evidence, I believe that too. But you could tamper with something that's already done. They just wanted to put him under the jail cell. And they really bought him tamper with it. But the question whether he killed her or not, he killed her, but they tampered with it to make it look more evident that he killed her. Okay, now, he got off. Okay, But how was the family able to file a civil suit against him? Hear me. So if you're going to determine whether somebody is guilty or not by whether the court allowed a civil suit to be brought against someone, hear me. If that's the case, the law screwed up. Huh? Because how are you going to tell me that O.J. Simpson was innocent for killing his wife, yet he had to pay the family a civil suit? They were able to sue him for something he didn't do. Doesn't make sense. So it is with Eddie Long. Why is it that there is nothing that proves this man did what he did? Nobody other than these four who are suing him came out to testify. There is no other evidence, no pictures, no videos, no audio images, and yet they're able to sue him. That means anybody can make an accusation against anybody. If you're a state legislator, if you're a congressman, you need to address this to the legal system. And we need to question our legal system and say, wait a minute, something wrong here. If a preacher, a high profile preacher they can do this with, they can do this with celebrities or you as a politician. Anybody can do this. Anybody can just say, oh, he raped me. Oh, we had a sexual affair. Oh, they did this to me. And I'm like, okay, where do we draw the line? Okay. Now, I want to address something else. Okay. Let me say this. You don't own YouTube. You are... This is so stupid. How are you on YouTube complaining because YouTube dismissed a video, took a video down and closed somebody's account? Well, you violated YouTube guidelines. You know, for the first time, I just had a video removed on my account for the first time in 3 years. I've never had a video removed in 3 years of me having a video on YouTube. I mean, they had warned me to remove video or it was a violation. I removed it myself. But YouTube never removed a video and they never suspended my account. But when they removed my video, I didn't get offended. I didn't get angry. I didn't go taunting and crying and making videos. No. I took it like a man. You know why? Because look, I'll just come back and make another video. Make a better video. Okay, so another thing I want you to think about is, okay, if you violate YouTube's guidelines, they're going to remove those videos when they get complaints. Hear me. YouTube isn't violating the law. They put those guidelines there for a reason. You see what I'm saying? And then who are you? You're not paying to be here on YouTube. You're not, I mean, what are you to say? You've been given the grace to do what you do. If you went through the labor of making videos and you're making all these videos, hey, go somewhere else if you don't want to put in the hard work and they remove your videos. Or either follow the rules and guidelines. You can't come on here to show you the rebellious spirit of these fools. They come on YouTube and think that they can do on YouTube what they do in their own personal lives and just do whatever they want. That's why they don't go to church. They don't have nothing to do with the church. They don't have nothing to do with a preacher because they're rebellious. They're rebellious. Hear me. He's rebellious. He has a rebellious spirit. So he think he can come on YouTube, do whatever he want to do, and then cuss YouTube out because they remove one of his videos or one of his friends' videos. Well, you filed a complaint against me. That's right. The same little boy that called me gay, lied and accused and called me gay, is the same little boy that filed DMC against my video and had my video removed. And he flagged it and had his friends flagged it. He's crying about people flagging his videos. Come on, man. Do you all not see the hypocrisy here? Do you not see that something is wrong with this picture with this little boy on YouTube? He sound now even the more, he's full of anger. He's full of just like rage. Why is he full of anger and rage? It's because he's losing the battle. It's because things are not going his way. It's because God is bringing judgment upon him. It's because God is raising up an army and the devil is losing the battle. Hear me. If you are on the wrong side, you can change sides right now. You can, I'm telling you people, many of you have been seduced and misled.